This is Amani with Build Brothers, starting my digital inspection at a property in the Vista area. And for these inspection videos, we always like to start underneath the eaves just to get an idea of the condition of the wood. Now the eaves consist of, we have the fascia board on the outside, we have the rafter tails, and then we have the starter boards. And right off the bat here, I am seeing signs of dry rot. We can see a little bit on this corner on the fascia, and I see, multiple pieces of these starter boards that appear to be warped as well from the water. We see a little bit on this rafter tail, and you can see some water staining on here as well. Looks like a little bit of caulking was applied right here on the corner. Yeah, always like to see just the general condition of the wood. So we are seeing signs of wood damage. What we're looking at here is a architectural asphalt shingle roof, and we do have drip edge, which is that metal flashing that goes along the perimeter, and it helps keep that water from soaking into that wood and make sure that that water goes into the gutters. And you can see a ton of granules starting to collect up in here. Now on this roof particularly, it's a very slow slope roof. It's about a 312 pitch. And the kind of underlayment we have under here is actually just normal tar paper. And making my way up here, you can see the amount of shine on this product. So basically what happens over time as that product sits under the sun, those oils begin to evaporate, and that's when it starts to cause the granules to fall off. That's when you start to see that shiny fiberglass. And we see this all over the roof, right? This greatly affects the waterproofing capability on this product and its ability to shed water. And again, because this house is a low sloped roof, that water is going to tend to flow off a lot slower, and it has more opportunity to sit there and go underneath the shingles. Again, we can see some feathering on the edges, and we do have a solar system on here installed by Sunrun. And taking a look at the standoff mounts, looks like they're flash integrated mounts. We do have active leaks going into this building, and this house was built in 1980. So not sure how long these leaks have actually been getting into the attic space. But my guess, there is a leak coming in around this area, and I do see inconsistencies in the seam stagger. So the seam stagger, we like to see at least 6 inches on each shingle course before each one starts, and it looks like we have a little bit of stacking right here. So we have one right here, it goes down in a diagonal pattern, and then we have another one that's kind of stacking on top of that, going the opposite direction. So again, this can cause leaks, right, because of the nailing pattern. We have another torch down section on the flat. We have a small cricket that also has torch down. And then I also wanted to bring this because ultimately on low slope roofs like this, if we're gonna put a shingle on a low slope roof, well, we want to use an upgraded underlayment. So ideally on this roof, instead of the felt paper or even just the standard synthetic, we want to use a titanium peel and stick underlayment. This stuff essentially peels and sticks right on the wood decking. It's a beefed up version of the regular UDL underlayment, the titanium 30, and this is essential for this kind of roof because it's going to create a buffer with that water. And when we put this on, the sun heats it up, it melts into the plywood decking, and then once the nails are actually once they're installed, it actually seals around the nail, so it keeps it in place and makes it a superior product for low slope roofs. So that's what I would recommend definitely for this roof. And overall condition, I believe this roof has gone past its life expectancy. I definitely want to redo this roof and address any rotten wood that needs to get replaced. Wood is done on a discovery basis. We can't determine the amount of wood that needs to get replaced until we actually tear off this old material. Once we get the shingles off, we want to replace with new Owens Corning shingle, which comes with a 50-year product warranty, and we actually back that with a lifetime workmanship. For the solar panels, we want to remove and reinstall those. We are licensed and contracted to remove and reinstall these and update the racking if needed. And then all the penetrations will get reflashed. We won't have any exposed nail heads like we do now. And then for this section, we will also replace this section as well. So I will get this out. Thank you. Okay, I'm on with Build Brothers again at the Vista property, and now we're on the garage. And we can see here immediately on this asphalt shingle roof, first things I notice is these shingles are actually stretched. So this happens when not enough material is used when installing this roof. So actually misalign these and use less shingles than what was necessary on here, or what was required. Another thing I noticed on this roof is, similarly to the main house, is these shingle tabs don't have proper stacker. We have a lot of stacking on each of these. So some of them are going this way, some of them are going that way. It's kind of all over the place. You can see, if you follow my finger, where that stagger is going. It's almost in a S shape. Normally it's supposed to be cascading in a diagonal formation, going either to the right or to the left. It has to be consistent, because that's gonna cause leaks when those staggers are stacked on top of each other, because that water is just gonna go right underneath those shingles and down to the nails. And we do have a leak going on this roof as well, right around this area. So again, my guess, the culprit is the seam stagger. That would be my guess of the source of the leak. But yeah, the product itself, it's a little bit newer than the main house. We don't see as much granule loss and fiberglass showing through. However, the nature of the installation causes concern to me. And I would definitely recommend replacing this one as well, because it doesn't look like it was installed properly. So what we want to do, same thing with the main roof. We want to tear this down to the wood decking, address any rotten wood. Then we may find it's not going to be as severe as the main house. I didn't see any rotten wood or dry rot underneath the eaves. We want to update the underlayment with new, and then same thing, we want to add new Owens Corning shingles to this. We have a 50-year product warranty, and then we can back that with a lifetime workmanship. Also want to make sure that we don't leave any exposed nail heads, because that can also cause a leak in the future as well. And then ventilation, we want to add O'Hagan vents, the low profile ones. There's no spinning parts, they're sleek, and that'll allow the roof to breathe. I will get this out. Thank you.